here. And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK Show, and this is going to be episode 473. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week that is ahead of you. And in this episode of the MSK Show, we have one topic for you guys tonight for this episode of the MSK Show, and that will be on: will the Mandalorian and Grogu help revive Star Wars? So that is going to be the topic for tonight's episode of the MSK Show. And I just want to let you guys know that the Walmart job that I did an interview for called me back today, but unfortunately the call dropped immediately after I was gonna, tell her which shift I wanted. So it was between 2 to 11 or 7 to 4. And you guys know me, I'm getting my 7 to 4. I like my morning shifts. It's either I do morning or I do extremely late, and I like morning shifts. People like, you like getting up at 6 in the morning going to work? Yes, I'd rather do that. I much rather get up early in the morning, go to work. That's
get it over with.
Yeah. And then after I get off at like 4 o'clock, then it's like, still have a good amount of time to just get some stuff done, But I'm gonna go back tomorrow at about around 8:30-ish when I get off the bus. So I'm gonna go over there and talk to them and be like, hey, I want the job. I know you guys called me. I didn't want to like make it look like I didn't want it. I do want it, but just, what can I was like, basically just, can I get an update on this? Basically what I'm going to ask for. But, I'm glad they called back because, it looks like I'll have a new job within about, hopefully in a couple days. So that's why I deleted that tweet that I got, because I literally tweeted that out right as the call came in. I was like, this is Walmart. I was like, so it was almost like a fever dream. I was like, what the fuck? It's like,
nice.
It's like I couldn't even believe it. I had a dream about this too. I had a dream. You don't understand this, dude. I had a dream about this stuff. It came to me in a dream, like that Dr. Manhattan meme. It all came to me in a dream. It came to me in a dream that said I was hired. So maybe that was the dream that I was gonna, end up becoming prophesize.
Maybe you woke up and you didn't really get a call from Walmart. That was another dream.
Wait a minute. That would be crazy, wouldn't it? Maybe this is all a simulation. You're not real and I'm not real. And I'm actually just, living a whole different life at this point,
Well, if somebody created a simulation and programmed me the way I am, I'm going to go kick somebody's butt, because I wish they would have made me better looking, a lot more money, things like that would have been nice instead of what I got, instead of the raw deal I got. So it's all right.
So yeah, that's the good news. They called back, and just unfortunately, the connection was so bad here today. My phone call dropped, and then tomorrow I'm gonna go. He said to just basically just come back at like 8 o'clock, talk to her, and see where they can go, because they called me back, so it's not like I'm. And I have proof on my phone. I got called by these people because their number is what 252-5000. That's always like been a number for like what 1,000 years, honestly, at this point. So yeah,
well, good luck. Hope it works out for you.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't wait to go to my first job that I ever had and be like, you know what? It's been a lot. It's been a long road. It's been a great time. Or I can do it in like the Trump voice. We had a really good, nice, long years together. Everything was good.
It was the best thing we did. I can't do it, Trump. So
God, man. Yeah, you guys have some nice girls here. Very nice girls. Good-looking girls.
People are saying I did a good job. People are saying. Yeah, I can't do it, Trump. So.
Good Lord, man. I can't wait for this next chapter. Literally, it's tomorrow. I literally had it today, but my fucking connection.
You couldn't call back. It didn't go through.
I tried multiple times, and then the person that would put me through to the next person to go through, and it would never go. It would just kept ringing like 1,000 times. So,
well, at least you went to the store that you're going to get hired in and told them, so they know you're interested. It's not like you just blew them off. So
yeah, because I remember Michael had said in the chat, he had said it takes roughly about a week or two, and then this other lady that works at this Dollar General, like literally up the street from me. It's like 5-minute walk up the street. She was like, yeah, they actually called me back in about 2 weeks too. So I was like, but you guys understand, I have such a fast life, like 2 weeks. I don't even know if it exists when you tell me. When you tell me it's been a month, I'm actually like, what? It's been a month? I don't even feel this stuff anymore. Back when I was a kid, I felt like, stuff was way slower in time frame. When you're an adult, time is just infinitely way faster. That's why they always say as an adult, make sure you value your time with who you're putting it into, because time is valuable. Like literally, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but like we could all like croak and die at one point. I would like to understand this as a concept of people. Do not waste your time on morons, not on the internet, because that's just might be for fun. Like people in your personal life who want to be around you, who want to interact with you, who care about you, and all that, yada yada gay bullshit you guys always say. Those people want to be around you. Put your time into those people, not time into like people that, kind of like only hit you up when they need money, or kind of only hit you up when they need something. Just make sure as an adult, and I know some of you guys are going to be adults very soon. Just, as a young person, advice I can give you, treat your time very valuable. Come on, you do not get time back. You cannot get time back. So all this time you spend on something better be worth it, because you can't get it back. It's the most fundamental thing I can say about being an adult is understanding how to treat your time with the absolute most care. And if someone doesn't respect that, well, tell them to go eat your ass.
Well, take it from me. Just yesterday I was 22. Just woke up this morning. I'm 59, and I'm like, oh, geez, what happened between all that time? So it goes fast. But the best thing to do is, like MSK said, surround yourself by good people, people you care about, people who care about you. Spend it wisely. Just have fun. Try to come up with some good creative hobbies. Enjoy yourself. Relax.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, sometimes you just get so burned out with something. You always got to take a mental day. Just like work gets to me, and I'm just like, I got to do something. Like I go to work out, or I read, or I go somewhere and punch something like a wall because I need to let out my anger. So, just try to take care of your mental health, because, that's a big thing. If you wind up being depressed or feeling sad, and the next thing you know, it's 2-3 years, and you've wasted 2-3 years as being miserable. So try to recognize the signs, surround yourself by people who care about you, and you'll be fine. And get some exercise. Exercise is good for the mental health.
Today, what also piqued my interest was, as people know, I grew up on Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, and, TNBA and Teen Titans Animated Series. Next week, if we do the show, definitely want to cover the Teen Titans Animated Series original ending in a video. Basically, they could do this. Now, I don't know if I would upload that specific video to this channel. That probably go on my comic book channel, because it's going to be like a bridge to comic book relations too. But looking back on it now, oh God, that show just ended up. Like, keep in mind, guys, when it comes to any show ending, it is very hard to end this show. Actually, I would argue it's much more easier to start a show. I would also even argue it's easier to get to the middle part of the show. But endings are one of the most trickiest ways to conclude something based off of numerous things, right? And you look at that Teen Titans Animated Series, and the very last episode, you have Tara coming back. And then, you have Slade mysteriously showing up after he'd not been there the whole season anyway. And there's just so many unresolved things. And you come to find out, because when I was a kid, I didn't know that was the last episode. I remember when that aired new, I thought that was just the newest episode. They were going to go to something different. No, later on when I became, I was like, that's it. I was like, wait, what the fuck? It's over?
I never watched that series. I don't remember why. I probably would have tried, but I just never got into it. And then I don't even know. I guess it would be streaming on WB, or on the HBO Max, but I don't have that anymore, so I couldn't catch up on that.
Yeah, so at some point, maybe on like a Wednesday or a Friday show, we'll, cover it as a topic, because, that was always something that I wanted to talk about too. Like Batman the Animated Series, like when it gets, to be becoming like TNBA, what's crazy is TNBA isn't bad. It's just not as good as Batman the Animated Series. And it's partly due to the fact of the redesigns. And I love Paul Dini. I really do. I think he is utterly amazing, creative genius, utterly phenomenal person when it comes to creating like Batman mythos and stuff. But that idea of wanting to kind of stylize the animation for the animation of the time, because animation had drastically improved from when they started Batman the Animated Series compared to when they had TNBA, not a good decision. I think it was going for more style than substance in their design, I think that's the reason why people don't look at TNBA as good as Batman the Animated Series, because those designs are not good. Like, there's one or two of them that are actually good overall. The rest are pretty bad. Like the Joker with the black eyes and stuff, like Poison Ivy lost all her tits. Fucking hell, just golly, man. What in the world? Like, it even shows someone as creative and genius as that guy can make a mistake. We're not perfect, you know?
Was that the one where the Joker had the dreadlocks?
No, that's the Batman.
That sucked. I tried watching that, and I'm like, oh,
people said it was underrated. People said it was underrated. I was like, it was
I got through
underratedly
3
good.
episodes, and I just stopped watching. I couldn't stand the animation. I hated the Joker. I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I hated that Joker look. That was actually one of the biggest reasons why I didn't watch that show. And when I was growing up, that one was being like, you know, airing is new. I was like, I think it pretty much was the animation that pretty much turned me off from it. Actually.
Yeah, I didn't like. I tried. I had, you know, it was on HBO Max. I don't know, a few years ago. I popped in with it, and
yeah,
I watched, like, I was at the gym and I had it on my phone, and I watched. While I was on the treadmill, I watched the first 3 episodes, and I was like, I can't. I'm done. And I moved on to watching a really good show was Young Justice. That was excellent, and I think it's 3 or 4 seasons, but the last season wasn't as great. But you know, you're talking about ending a show. Justice League Unlimited had a great ending. You know, because it started out as Justice League, and then it was Unlimited when they had all the but the finale was really good when they went off chasing the Legion of Doom. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, that was a good one. You're right, though. It's hard to end a show well. You know, I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld back in the 90s.
Oh, that's always considered one of the biggest, like, it's always considered one of the biggest, worst TV show endings ever.
It was so unfunny. It was bad.
I think the worst TV show ending I've ever went through would either be 2.5 Men or How I Met Your Mother. Those were considered a lot. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, Lost. Lost for sure is one of considered the worst TV show endings ever.
Well, they ended up where they were in like heaven or purgatory or something. I don't know. I get what they were doing, but I think what happened was I think they had a plan for 3 or 4 seasons, maybe 5. I don't remember how long it went. And then the network said, we need more. And they're like, okay. And they just kept adding on and more questions and never answered anything. Then when you got to that last season, it was like, well, what's going on? And then they did the flashbacks, flash forwards. Turns out they're dead. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest ending, but I wasn't that upset with that one. But How I Met Your Mother pissed me off because all that for Ted to get back with Robin, I thought was just cheap. And I just thought it was silly to go through all that and then he's back with Robin. I mean, it was.
It
didn't make a lot of sense.
My biggest problem is like, okay, they pushed Barney and Robin to get married in that like the last 2 seasons. You can see like they were trying to push them as a thing, and then after they get married, they get divorced in like about 2 months, something like that.
Yeah,
and then
it was dumb.
Ted ends up with fucking hell. Ted ends up with the late. Oh my god, oh my lord.
I can't remember her name on the show, but she ended up playing.
She played Maria Hill.
Oh yeah, Robin. Robin was the one he ended up with, but that's the one.
Ted ended up with Robin, even though she's not the mom, because the mom
had cancer, and that the woman who played the mom was in the Penguin. She played Falcone.
She was
amazing, and her name I can't think of the name of that, but yeah, I don't know. I hated that ending because I thought Robin and Barney were a decent couple, and then they just broke them up, and the whole thing was to get him with Ted. And I don't know. I just thought it was a cheap ending. I would have preferred if they're going to kill the mom, just kill the mom and have Ted be alone and kind of end it with his kids, you know, but then to run back to Robin and it's like, I don't know. It was silly. I don't know. But sometimes, you know, the finales can be really good. I thought Frasier had a good finale. I thought the Friends finale is pretty good.
Friends, I never saw the finale of it because like Friends, I never really cared for. I thought Friends was so bad.
I don't know, you know, it's one of those things I got into and I liked it. And it was one I always recorded it. And then I'd come home from work and I'd watch an episode while I ate dinner or something. And I had a lot of friends who liked it. There was this woman I was interested in. She really liked it. And so I was watching it. And then, you know, I did enjoy it. I thought it was okay. But I did enjoy the ending of that one. That was basically, you know, everybody.
Like 2.5 Men was fucked. If people don't know, 2.5 Men was fucked. I don't even want to be beginning and all that because I was, oh god, if I was here telling you guys what's happened with that ending, I would fry my brain. Like, yeah, How I Met Your Mother's was weird. Like theirs was always going to be a tricky finale because their show starts off with you have the kids there, and then later on in the show's life cycle, they got rid of the kids. So he has kids. So like the whole show is like he can't find love, but the narration of the show was like the show is so weird because so like the premise of the show is like you see the character's end result. So the show's premise was let's just show you the journey to becoming that by his own narration, because he would narrate, they would talk, and then you would get to Barney and all the friends and stuff. And then the kids who were doing the narration for the show, they're out after a while. I think they got other acting gigs or whatever. Because I know David Henry, he was big in Wizards of Waverly Place, so I'm pretty sure that's where he went to, for the rest of. I forgot the other girl who was there. That girl I forgot, but
they had to keep them the same age. So what I heard they did is they filmed a whole bunch of scenes with them, because they're just sitting there and and they had them just give responses so they could cut them in later. And then I guess they filmed endings where Robin, the whole thing with Robin, then the whole thing where with the mom, so they could pick an ending. So because they knew, the show was going to probably go for several years. And if it went several years, the kids are going to get older and it wouldn't make any sense. So, but yeah, I don't know. I thought the concept of how they told that story was pretty good, but the ending was kind of flat. I don't know. They had some good seasons and some not so good seasons. They did that one wedding
that
was
one
the
episode,
whole season, and I didn't like that.
Oh my god, there was an episode Barney. They're like, Barney, you have a brother? It was the guy.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Wayne Brady. That was really cool. I thought he was cool in it.
That's how you introduce a black character in a show. Like when the characters, like that joke of like if you adopt a black kid, if you're a white couple, then when the kid gets older and like let's say your kid has to you got to pull them out because they're like doctor's appointment or whatever, and then the person calls to like, hey, Johnny, this is your parents? Yeah. That's the joke, right? And they utilized that joke. So that was the funniest thing they did. It was like this fucking white dude bangs all these chicks. His brother's black. I just thought that was the most hilarious thing ever. Now, I think my biggest problem always with this show, because like it's weird. It's not that I don't dislike that show. It's like when that show was airing, I was more bigger into 2.5 Men. But when I watched it, it wasn't like when I watched Friends and I just didn't give a fuck what happened on screen. I was actually really into what they were doing. It's just like I understood their premise. I liked it. It's just really hard to execute on that kind of premise if you're already showing the end result of something and then just kind of having someone take the journey with it. And then also if you're having like the idea that Barney would settle down with Robin and then Ted would get with her like 2 months after.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I thought him and Robin should have stayed together. And if they wanted to, like I said, if they wanted to kill the mother, go ahead and just Ted be alone, and maybe then the show with him maybe meeting a new woman somewhere. Like tells the kid, and they're like, well, Dad, it's Mom's gone now. You can move on with life, and then maybe he leaves the apartment or wherever they live with the kids, and he meets a woman, and you get the idea he's gonna continue and maybe go on. But to go back to Robin and her breaking up with Barney, it just I didn't like that because I never saw them together. When they got together, I thought, that's not a bad couple. And they were pretty good together because they were both kind of out of control, looking for love. Barney was always like chasing women and she was kind of hooking up with a lot of bad guys. And I just thought,
I hate, oh my God, the idea that Kobe Summers has bad luck getting guys. That's crazy because she is really hot. I will say she is drop dead.
Yeah, she's very beautiful. Yeah. Then again,
I can understand the friend. I forgot it was the redhead couple. I forgot their names.
Marshall and Lily.
Yeah, those two. I can understand why Lily would have trouble with kids. The idea that you're trying to present me that Kobe Summers bangs all these dudes and can't land one of them. It's like, what?
I don't know. A lot of good looking people, though. I mean, they have a hard time in love. Look at you, MSK. You're a handsome man and you can't seem to find love. So,
oh God, being tall, rich, and good looking, has its failures.
I think it's a show. I think the movie is called I Love You, Man. It's with Paul Rudd and the guy who played Marshall. I can't think of his name, the big dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a show about where he's engaged and he doesn't have any friends to get a best man. and I think it's called I Love You, Man. And I actually saw that I don't know, on cable or something once. And it's actually not a bad. It's like, one of those comedies, romantic comedy things, and he's trying to make friends, and Paul Rudd becomes his buddy, and they go through all this stuff so he can have a best man, because he's kind of embarrassing because he really doesn't have any close friends in his life. He's just engaged. And Marshall, the guy who played Marshall, and I can't think of his name, he plays the guy who really doesn't have any friends. That is a pretty good show. So if you ever want to see something just kind of fun and not really, you have to be really engaged in it, that's a pretty good movie. But he was part of that whole Judd Apatow crew or whatever.
Like even
all those shows. That guy.
Sanford and Son. I love that show. That's one of my favorite comedy shows ever.
Grew up with Sanford and Son.
I don't even like when I was, because I remember watching nearly all of that show. I don't remember that show even having like you would consider like a satisfactory ending. Like it had shows like that. Instead of having like a satisfactory ending, they would just basically have an episode that's the final episode that would kind of be like all the other ones. I think that's the better approach. I think if you can't end a show, I think you should make your last episode like the other episodes and just kind of end it. I feel like that's the best way, because that's what they said that Simpsons is eventually going to end up being like. There's not going to be like a true finale. It'll just be like another episode that you would feel like exists in the show.
Yeah,
because that's the way to do it.
Now, when they finally cancel that show.
Well, that show's never getting canceled. No way. They're not doing it at this point.
In the 70s and 80s, when I was growing up, they wouldn't, like, you wouldn't get a lot of notice. Like sometimes actors and creators and stuff, that the season would end, and then during the summer they'd find out it's not coming back. And some of them used to find out through like the trade magazines and stuff, entertainment magazines, and they say like they were never called. The network would just make a call, wipe the show out, and that's why they never had those kind of endings. They had the ones like you said, where it's just a regular episode. And sometimes the cast would never know. And then I can't remember the show. I just saw something. I watched this one channel. It's called Remember When, and they show like all these 15 facts about Frasier, 15 facts about How I Met Your Mother, and things like that. And I can't remember the show now. It was a while ago. They all thought they were coming back, and one of the cast members found out in a magazine, like Variety or something, and called the other cast members. And I think it was the Jeffersons. And that's how Sherman Hemsley found out they weren't bringing the Jeffersons back. They just, it just got ended. So nowadays they plan stuff out. They know, and they sign contracts, and they want to have good endings. And, so because they don't want to get the viewers too bad. So they try to do something solid. But I guess, I don't know if you've ever watched The Sopranos. I never did, but my buddy did, and he hated that ending.
That's another one that's considered not that good. Sopranos ending.
Kind of
Game of Thrones, obviously. Game of Thrones has never been considered a good ending ever.
Everybody hated. I never watched an episode, but everyone hated that last season because the guy didn't finish the book, so they just did their own ending, and everybody hated it.
Good Lord. So people have asked me if I watched Game of Thrones back in the. I can't remember. Not personal stuff, because that leads into personal. So I'll allude it like this. I did watch episode 1 of season 1, and I didn't think it was bad. Like in terms of like, I think it was garbage. It just didn't really hit me, like when I was watching it, and then when it was over, I was like, I watched episode 1 of True Blood as well, and I was like, because I don't know, like I don't really care if like there's like gratuitous like sex scenes or whatever, because like in the first episode of Game of Thrones, at like the very end, like the brother and sister are like having sex with each other, and then like that one little kid catches them, and they push him off, and I know the kid becomes paralyzed, but that's pretty much it. Like I just didn't really care for a Game of Thrones like that. I just was like, this is really not that good, not. And keep in mind, it might have been good later on if I kept watching, but that's like hour-long episodes to be dedicated to. Same thing with like True Blood. I tried watching a few like the first episodes of True Blood and Game of Thrones, and I was like, nah, I don't think that this is for me, actually. Milk Toast, what's up, man? Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn on the grill.
Trying to get up there. That's the Jeffersons. Moving on up.
I don't dig the dark fantasy. I'm more of a bright fantasy kind of guy. Full on Nate says 70 million does not sound like a win, MSK. Dude, the problem here is like if I don't title it a certain way, then people go, "Oh, MSK, you're being too mean and you're not being nuanced." It's like, guys, I've told you this time and time again. My job here is to not tell you shit you want to hear to yourself. Okay, my job here is to basically just go off of what I'm reading and what I'm looking at for the show. And if that's not like, hey, sometimes there's big wins in that, and sometimes there's not. Like, sorry guys, I don't feel. Some of you guys really understand this though. There's not a lot of big wins with a lot of these movies that come out, and not because they're all bad. That's not what I'm gonna say. It's just because like there's not enough money going around for these movies. Like, it's not that there's not enough audience. That's not true. There's just not enough people going to the theaters and spending a lot of money on movies like they used to. Like, there's a reason why they keep pumping out remakes and sequels and all that stuff. Because, if we're being honest here, I actually don't blame Hollywood for this. People think, oh, you just rag on Hollywood. I don't blame Hollywood for this. Those are the only movies you pay for. The only movies you pay for are sequels and remakes. So what do you think's going to happen? They're just going to make a bunch of sequels and remakes. That's what's going to happen, because that's just what any logical sounding business would do. Actually, I'm not nice when it comes to dog shit products. Good Lord. Job, does that entail being paid? Just saying. I mean, I hope it would. Otherwise, you would look like radio on the street. So, but I don't know. And it's also one of these things where, it's just super, because even like people think like, well, animes have controversial endings too, like even some of those like, and keep in mind, I love these shows like Superman the Animated Series, Batman the Animated Series, and all these other great stuff like Batman Beyond, stuff like that. Like, as great as they are, they still fall into the same trope. Their endings aren't as good. Look for what you think should be the ending, right? Or what is considered a satisfactory ending. Like, one of the shows that I do think had a satisfactory ending was actually Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah, it's weird. That's like one of the few TV shows that I can even think of my brain, just off the top of my head, that has a decent TV show. Actually, count on all your 10 fingers, guys. Everyone listening back too. How many TV shows do you think had an actual satisfactory ending? You're probably not going to get like more than 3, I'd imagine.
I don't know. I mean, I thought Friends was good. I thought Frasier was good. I like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I thought that was good. I'll lump all the Star Treks in because I think all the Star Trek ones were, but I'll give that a 1. Battlestar Galactica, the remake, was good. Farscape had to end on a movie, so that wouldn't have been that great.
I guess if you
Babylon 5 was
sequels,
good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with Farscape, they ended the show and then they had to come back with a couple TV movies to give it the proper ending. But that one, I love Farscape. That was a great show. If you like science fiction, I would jump into that if I was you guys. Great storytelling. But, to get back to Fresh Prince, I rewatched a lot of those episodes. Oh, man, it's probably during the pandemic. So it was 6 years ago. And that show had a lot of heart.
Like, it's really good. It's very, very well done.
Everyone talks about, the one where Will meets his dad, played by Ben Vereen, and he leaves, and, Uncle Phil consoles him. But I liked in the finale was really good is when they're leaving and Will tells Uncle Phil, he says, when you call your kids on Sunday, make sure you call me, or can you call me too? And he's like, yeah, he goes, you're my son. He basically told him. And that was like a heartfelt moment. They had a lot of good episodes in there. They did.
Oh, there's so many
really
good ones. Yeah. The Carlton Speed episode. You also have the episodes where Will got shot. You also have, just the very first episode sets the tone. Like the very first one. Then you have the one where they're wrongfully incarcerated in that jail. There's the one where Uncle Phil goes to the pool, goes to like that bar because
pool sharks.
Yeah, there's that one. That show is just
he pretends he can't shoot the thing, and then he's Jeffrey, give me Lucille. He gives him or whatever the name of the
give me Lucille. Oh Lord,
he comes out and he comes out and he rolls.
We were just speaking about. Yeah, I was just saying that too. I would. Since there's a lot of TV shows with very unsatisfactory endings, I would prefer if the shows just had a regular episode as their last episode. That way it kind of wraps up in a way where you're like, you know what? It was good. Like, even though there wasn't a true finale, I'd rather there not be a true finale than just fucking some utter horse shit that they threw out there. Like, Pretty Little Liars had a pretty stupid ending. Vampire Diaries, I think, had a pretty bad ending overall.
I thought Supernatural had a good ending.
I never watched that, actually. I wanted to, but I had other teen dramas to watch at the time. Good Lord, because I was getting laid.
Now I'm dating myself a little bit here, but One Day at a Time, which was big in the late 70s, early 80s, I thought had a good ending. But one thing in these endings, a lot of shows they do, and it kind of bugs me, is when they break everybody up and send everybody their separate ways. They did that in Fresh Prince, it wasn't so bad. But like
you can make sense out of it because given how the show was going,
yeah. But like in Family Ties, I think it was, Alex, the one with Michael J. Fox, he has to leave the family, gets a job in Washington. Then there was a show called Growing Pains, which I don't know if you remember that with Kirk Cameron and Alan Thicke. I didn't watch the whole series. I watched it here and there, but she was my friend's daughter. I was really close to the family. I call her my niece. She really loved that show, and I would hang out with them and we'd watch it. And then when the finale came, I had to watch it with them, and they did that where they broke everybody up, and she was really sad. I just remember that. That was like in 1990, maybe 93, 94. I don't know, but she was bummed out because the way they ended it, like the whole family went their separate ways. And I kind of like when they're together. The show Cheers ends, everybody's still at the bar. Sam doesn't leave. Everyone's there together. So I kind of like those kind of endings where they don't split everybody up for no reason. But, I don't know. It's just
Supernatural ending made me weep. Nate, why are you such a crybaby? Oh my God.
It was good.
There's some tearjerkers in there. I've never seen the Flash ending. So I never saw the Flash season 9, but I heard the Flash ending isn't that bad.
I'm trying to remember how it ended now because I didn't like the last couple seasons.
I know it out. I know the ending of I know they have Nora and then he just runs like he normally would, but I don't know of the actual episode ending because I stopped watching after season 8 because season 8 ended. Oh my God.
Well, when everybody left and they brought in the new people and it was like,
oh, Chester and that other girl.
Yeah,
But Chester was black though. That's the problem. I noticed that when they brought in a black guy, I was like, "Fuck."
I didn't really mind
Allegra.
Too much.
That was her name, Allegra. But she was pretty. I liked Allegra.
Oh,
she was really gorgeous.
Attractive. But I don't know. I kind of a completist in a way. I had to keep watching that because I watched all through Green Arrow. I did give up on Supergirl and Black.
Oh no, I gave up on Green Arrow. I actually gave up on season 1, honestly, because
I thought it was good for several seasons.
Oh fuck! I know people said it got better with some seasons. It just, I don't know. It felt too much like Batman to me. It felt like they just wanted to do a Batman show.
Yeah, the Batman villains. He acted like Batman. I mean, the whole thing was Batman, but they didn't want to use Batman. But I did like it. I think though with that show, or with Supergirl, I liked it the first season, but then when they moved it to CW because it was on CBS and had a bigger budget, they had to cut some stuff out. And I thought it was okay, and then it just got, I don't know, everything was about, like when they brought in Lena Luthor and Kara, and it was all about, every episode I did watch, it was, oh, you lied to me, and they're crying, and it's all about dumb relation, and I gave up. I couldn't handle it anymore. It got so bad.
Oh, God.
Like, why didn't you tell me the truth? You lied to me, blah, 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 blah.
I liked season 5 of The Flash. I like season 5 of The Flash more than I think I like season 3. I like
honestly, they all blur together for me. I got thinking, dude, every season with Flash though kind of started getting the same. It's like, oh, we got to bring Thawne back. And like there's another speedster, and Flash, the fastest man on Earth, isn't fast enough to beat him.
Well,
but throughout the season, he gets fast enough and can beat him. And then next season, another speedster is faster than the Flash.
What about shows that should have got more seasons but never did? I wanted to see more of Jupiter's Legacy, but the first season wasn't even that good. So I understand why they didn't push more of it. There's a lot of shows. I like that. It's weird. Okay, so that show V, it was a show called V. It was based on it was already a show, but it was kind of like a remake or whatever.
Yeah,
it was with that lady. It was the lady who
she was
Deadpool.
in Lost.
Yeah, she was in Lost too.
Marina Becken. Yeah, she played Diana, the V litter. I just rewatched the original TV movies from the 80s. Those were my jam back in the day. They had V and then V the Return, and then they had a series that only lasted one season. That was back in the 80s. And then they redid the show with I think the blonde woman was the leader.
Yeah.
What's that?
ABC picked it up. I remember for like 2 seasons. And
I think it only lasted one. And it just ended. That should have got longer. I thought it was a good show.
That cliffhanger on V season 2,
Yeah, I was so mad when they canceled that because Miranda Bakken was in it. She played the Diana, the leader of the aliens.
Oh, remember that show? No Ordinary Family that got canceled randomly. There's a lot of shows that got canceled randomly, actually. Good Lord. That's how it happens with, what's crazy? CW shows were getting less viewers than like YouTubers, and the CW still kept these shows going. Like, quite literally, on any other network, I would always say this. These shows would completely get canceled ASAP. It wouldn't even be like an afterthought in their brain. It's like, people got to know. It's something that has, happened with TV. Shows, actually, networks order more episodes. If your show performed as bad as these CW ones did, your show would be canceled actually 5 episodes, honestly. Oh, there was Moonlight. No, not Moonlight. Oh my God. What's the one with Vilo Ventimiglia? I think it's called Heroes.
Oh, Heroes. Yeah, that was good, but that got it kind of got
that's because the writer's strike. I think the writer's strike fucked it over.
The last couple of seasons got a little goofy.
All right, we'll be starting the topic here in just a moment. Joe, I think his camera froze.
No, I'm here. I was trying to look something up. I wanted to share my screen, but I can't find a good picture to. But I was talking about the original V, and with well, actually, if I can share my screen here, if I remember how to do that, I will. How do I do that now? I'm trying to remember now. Okay, share screen.
Oh God, fuck me.
I was I don't know, a teenager when this came out. If you want to share that, see that? That's why I watched V that's Jane Badler. She played the leader of the aliens, and her name was Diana, and I had a mad crush on her. So,
man, that was the style back then. Good Lord.
Oh yeah, she was gorgeous, and she was.
So what Joe's saying is he had a hairstyle like that too. He looked like Twisted Sister.
No, Joe had long red hair that was stringy and gross, and I looked like a dumb hippie. But yeah, I'm gonna unshare my screen. But yeah, Jane Badler was. Oh my gosh, all the boys were like, we watched V. Originally, it was a mini series. It was really good. Really talked about the complexities of like being occupied by a foreign power, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
oppression. Turning in your neighbors. It's kind of real of a kind of retelling of like occupied France or something during World War II. And then, like you said, they redid the show. And Jane Badler, the one I showed you there, actually makes an appearance. She is Marina Bakken's mother. And they have like a queen, and Marina Bakken was the queen, and then Jane Badler, who was Diana in the remake, actually locks her mother up so she could take over as queen. So, and Marina Bakken's gorgeous too, so that was really nice. So,
all right, Michael's here, and no, Michael, I'm the GOAT, not Joe, as you always say.
Well, he recognizes taste and class. So,
oh, Michael, you were right. They did call me back. So, if you guys are just tuning in right now, before we do the topic, the Walmart job called me back. I'll be going tomorrow morning to talk to the hiring person, because today, when the person called, my call dropped to select a shift, and I didn't get a chance to. And then by the time that I went down there, it was too late. The person was already gone. So, tomorrow I'm going to go and get that resolved. So, I'm so close. I can almost taste it. I can almost just like feel the palm of like the sun in my hands at this point. Oh, good Lord. I'm definitely not going to do that. I'm not doing that. I would be stalking if I would do anything. That would be like my job. You think I'm going to be around customers and checking out things? You can go fuck yourself. Fuck that. Hell no. You think what's going to happen if a black lady come in there being like, oh my God, I didn't. Nope. I'm not even going to deal with that. I'm just going to be like, goodbye, ma'am. See you later.
Once again, I have to say that MSK is responsible for his words, and I'm responsible for mine. And I enjoy and I like and I appreciate women and black people and all others, because I am one of those people who I don't care what you are. Where MSK seems to have a problem with women and some other things. So
let Well, women currently right now are trying to blow me, and that's just how it works right now.
Yeah, well, imaginary women don't count. So, so we're going to talk about the Mandalorian or what?
Yes. Oh my God, there's a topic here. Good Lord. All right, let's have some fun.
Getting a little crazy here with some fun stuff, though. It was fun.
Oh God, quality discussion. That's what I provide around here.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's go. Let's do quality over quantity. Just depends. I know how to produce both. Hey everyone, I am Black and rich and chocolatey. Okay, I'm joking, guys. These are all jokes. These are all jokes. Good Lord. Like, no one knows how to laugh anymore. Okay.
Oh, brother.
All jokes aside, let's get this done. Hey, everyone. I am MSK, a.k.a. Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about, will the Mandalorian and Grogu help revive Star Wars? So if you guys have been pretty much living under a rock, you would probably notice that Star Wars, pretty much the biggest IP and franchise ever created, has been a franchise in utter turmoil and just in a perpetual death spiral and downward trajectory. So the last live action movie to come out for Star Wars at Lucasfilm, which is currently under Disney, came out in 2019 with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which was truly, and I mean this, guys, truly an utter worthless piece of shit. Might be one of the worst movies I've ever watched. Now keep in mind, I don't even know what's worst, The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker.
Last Jedi. Last Jedi was awful. Oh my gosh, that movie.
You know what's crazy? The Rise of Skywalker might be worse because of that fucking ending they had. That ending where she was like Iron Man in Endgame. Oh, the Jedi. What the fuck was that?
What is your name? Ray. Ray,
no,
what?
Come on. I agree with you. I agree with you. Last Jedi sucks donkey booty. But
it was terrible.
The Rise of Skywalker, dude, starts off with the worst opening to a movie ever, and then somehow Palpatine returned. I hate Last Jedi too. I think that movie's utterly shite, but nothing beats Palpatine's just back like that. It's like that meme of like, surprise, motherfucker. It's literally just like one of the worst things you could ever just like say in a movie. Oh, there was that part that Nate brought up to me one time too. Remember in The Rise of Skywalker, there's like this line that says the dead speak. Like, who the fuck writes that? What the fuck does that even mean?
Ryan Johnson and J.J. Abrams, that's how they write. They don't know what they're doing.
J.J. Abrams, so a franchise killer. So, as you guys know,
J.J. Abrams told us no more white comfort.
Oh,
so of course, he's living in a $20 million mansion, and
$20 million.
He never has to work again in his life, and I mean, but why be comfortable? He could just give away all his millions to some poor people that are people of color and make their lives better. But nah, I can live in my gated community and fly, commercial or fly my private jets, and
I know J.J. Abrams, franchise killer, destroyer, can't write worth a penny shit, isn't talking about someone feeling uncomfortable. J.J. Abrams has only ever directed one good movie, and that was Mission Impossible 3. And that was probably because Tom Cruise was there, because that guy's garbage. So pretty much after The Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars as a franchise has just been relegated to these like Disney Plus shows, actually. Like recently, they put out the animated Darth Maul series. And I'll be honest here, guys, I've not really heard any buzz about it. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, I've not really heard any actual buzz about it. And the only show that really, kind of went off from being a Disney Plus Star Wars show was The Mandalorian and Grogu. And you had The Mandalorian, first 2 seasons. A lot of people liked those. And then season 3 came out. And, well, a lot of people did like that. But they always said, to be fair, credit to them, they did say season 4 would have been a movie. And that's what we're getting, though. We're finally getting the first Star Wars live-action movie in 7 years. And it's going to be The Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, this is a movie they should have probably did, like, after season 1 or 2, at, like, Mandalorian's peak, actually.
Yeah. How many people are going to be into it? I mean, it could be. I think I'm going to go see it, and I'll probably actually like it if they do it well. season 3 wasn't very good, but I did enjoy 1 and 2. But like you said, the hype. I mean, there's no hype. I don't know if you ever heard of Anna, that Star Wars girl. She's the only person on YouTube that I've seen reviewing those. And I haven't really watched the reviews because I haven't watched, I'm sorry, the Darth Maul animated show. So when you were talking about no hype for that, she was the only one I've seen who have had reviews on it. And I watch a lot of reviewer channels. And I didn't watch those because I'm not going to watch the show. But yeah, I mean, is there really that much hype for Mandalorian Grogu? I don't think so.
Yeah.
People are talking about Dune and Doomsday and Spider-Man. What's that? Toy Story 5 is getting a lot of hype. You know, Supergirl's getting a lot of talk, but a lot of it might be a little bit negative, but people are at least talking about it. But nobody's talking about Mandalorian and Grogu.
Unless you're talking about like the straight up Disney Star Wars shills that would always say everything they put out is good. It's always a 10 out of 10. They would also say, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. It's one of these things where, you know, like I've said this before, and I've said this, you know, years ago to a lot of people, this new Star Wars movie coming out, The Mandalorian and Grogu, will emphasize a lot of things, actually, right? So it will emphasize, is there any life in the Star Wars brand, right? And what I mean by that, I'll just break it down very, very simply for you guys. If this movie flops at the box office, I think it's safe to say that Star Wars is not just dead, but it's going to be in steady decline. And, well, Lucasfilm and Disney are the ones that did it, obviously. But the thing here is, if this movie flops, they're not going to be confident in putting another movie out. Do you guys think that Rey movie is coming out? We haven't heard anything about that movie.
Yeah, that's not coming out.
Yeah. So, like, I'm gonna be honest here. This movie is a litmus test for if they kind of can gauge, like, is there an audience to pay for Star Wars movies, right? Because if there's an audience to pay for Star Wars movies, that's this one, right? But keep in mind, is there an actual massive audience for this? Now, I heard this movie's budget is lower than a few of the other movies they've made from this company. So who knows what they need to make as far as like profit for, you know, box office returns. But I would imagine this movie cost about around $100 to $140 million. Then you factor in marketing. The marketing, I have no clue what the marketing is, but I'm pretty sure this movie, if they're looking at a success, this movie would, from just their point of view, if it's around almost $200 million, they're looking at this movie and probably thinking it should make like $700 million. If this movie makes less than $700 million, there's nothing here, honestly. Also, it's tracking to probably even do worse than Solo, which is horrible considering the fact that that is the lowest grossing movie in the entire franchise, currently still to this date at the time of us recording this video, right? So I know, like, the Disney Star Wars shills who just love everything that Disney Star Wars is, and, like, you know, they get invites and free shit and access and all that stuff, and they're always going to say everything's a 10 out of 10. It's all 10 out of 10. You know, it's just, the plot is 9 out of 10. The acting was so good. It made me, like, just my eyes blow out of my sockets. Like, my wife wanted to eat my ass from the back because the action was so good. Like, it's what they're always going to say, guys. But the real gauge, if there's actual interest, is in those box office numbers, because the actual box office numbers will represent is if there is a massive audience for Star Wars still, or it's just going to dwindle, right? And keep in mind, is that just a Mandalorian and Grogu thing? Or is that just a sign of a bigger problem? I don't know. But when this movie's box office is over, and if this movie is not around $700 million, that's a failure. And you can probably look to not getting any more Star Wars movies on the big screen for another, I would say, 7 years. By that point, Joe is already going to be 65. I'm going to be fucking, good Lord, almost 40. I'll be in my prime. You know, and keep in mind, people think I'm going to be like mean here. I am. This movie's, if this fails, because this is the litmus test, if this fails, it's over. You're not going to get any more live act. Why as a business would they invest more money into this brand knowing there's not going to be a big enough box office return? It doesn't make financial sense for Disney to do that with Lucasfilm if this movie doesn't make its money back. I'm thinking this movie's only going to be in like $400 million anyway. Even that's bad. That's fucking awful if it does that.
Yeah, like you said, I heard the budget was about $100 million, and even if they went another $100 million on advertising, but I haven't seen a ton of it. You know, they need to make what, $400 million to break even. So maybe they, they get that 400 million, they break even, maybe it makes a little profit, but I don't know. The movie just, there's no hype. And like you said, if this is out after season 1 or 2, it probably would have done really well. And I think the only thing that's going to help the box office is parents might take their kids to it because it has the cute baby Grogu. And I know the estimates aren't that great on what it's going to open, but sometimes when you have kids movies, you get a lot of foot traffic that just comes up because the parents are like, all right, got to get these dang kids out of the house who drive me nuts. Let's go to the movies. Oh, look, Baby Yoda. We're going to go see this movie. I mean, they could get more hype with that. But if that movie comes out and it stinks on the opening weekend, it's not good or not. I wouldn't even say stinks. If it's not really good to get people excited, it's the drop off in week 2 and 3 is going to be pretty big because everyone's going to go out. No one's talking about it. Just wait for it to come on Disney Plus. Because I watched everything else with the Mandalorian on Disney Plus. So it's got to come out and really grab a hold of people, I think.
And I know a lot. And Joe brings up a good point too. Word of mouth is really, really make or break for a lot of new movies that come out, right? If the word of mouth is typically pretty good, you can at least get a few more butts in the seats to go watch your movie, right? Project Hail Mary had really good word of mouth, and a lot of people went to go watch it. It had a pretty all right opening weekend for Project Hail Mary, but the word of mouth was so good that's what I'm trying to explain to a lot of people now. Word of mouth matters so much on these things now. Keep in mind, this movie's word of mouth makes or breaks it because the bulk of its money is going to be made opening weekend of what it is possibly going to make in the biggest amount of people that are going to be willing to shell out the money opening weekend, right? If this movie's word of mouth is utterly terrible or it's just kind of mixed, if it's mixed to bad, cook it up, pack it up, boys. That's it. Pack it up. If it's mixed, why would you go watch it then? If it's not like literally glowing reviews or you heard from a friend it was really good, that's it. Pack it up. Go home. What else is there to do? I don't know. Like, it's because at that point, if the word of mouth is bad, they're not going to go watch this. Guys, Star Wars' reputation isn't even good. And imagine the newest movie comes out and it's not good. Why would that convince you to go watch this? It's just kind of like these things exist in a vacuum. You guys got to understand, actually. So, box office tracking and forecast. Will The Mandalorian and Grogu, 71 million plus 3-day holiday weekend, help revive Star Wars on the big screen for Memorial weekend? Oh, little cute little Grogu right there. And keep in mind, you're going to get all those single moms there. Oh my God, Grogu's so cute. But that's not enough. That ain't enough. There ain't enough not enough MILFs and single moms to go watch this movie. Good Lord.
Well,
the key. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you froze up on your
like I was going to say. What's that?
Oh, your camera froze. Oh, there you go. No,
I was actually, I should have put my face off of there. I was Googling something, looked something up, but I was going to say, like I said, if you get some parents who need to get their kids out of the house, they'll take them to see the Baby Yoda, but they're going to need a lot of help, I think. But anyway, go ahead with your article.
All right, are you good? There's a shield. Oh, $2 billion. Holy $2 billion. Dude, I've seen trailer reactions of people crying at the trailer. Crying! What are you doing?
I think that's just to get clicks.
There's no way.
Like, oh my God. Yeah. If you cry over a movie trailer, you got issues. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying right now, if you cry over a movie trailer, you're fucking gay. That's just my opinion. All right. Key tracking factors and rationale. The Mandalorian and Grogu releases May 22nd, 2026, Disney and Lucasfilm. After a 6.5-year absence, the Star Wars franchise returns to the big screen following 2019's The Rise of Skywalker. The franchise has since encountered some of its highest highs and lowest lows. What highs? Your highest Andor and Rogue One.
Yeah,
that's it.
Andor is really good, and Rogue One was pretty good. Yeah, but yeah, they made a lot of money with the Force Awakens, but the box office on that trilogy dwindled. They were like
every movie dwindled. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In terms of critical reception, fan enthusiasm, and broader casual audience goodwill, much of the momentum built by the enormous cinematic success of early Disney-era films, especially The Force Awakens and Rogue One, was diminished by highly divisive creative choices as the IP was pivoted towards a streaming strategy during the pandemic. I mean, I will say this though. I'm not saying they would ever do this. I'm not saying they ever did do this. What I'm saying is, like, back in the day, if you criticized how bad Disney Star Wars' decisions were, you were called a misogynist or a racist. And it's like, what the fuck? I just said I don't like their decisions. Like, literally, I could say, I don't like the decision of them making this movie. Bigot, you're a fucking bigot. It's like, all right,
you're an incel, you know, you're a hater, you're not a true fan.
Oh, God. One of the bright spots early in that era was The Mandalorian itself, developed by Jon Favreau, who helms this big screen feature, alongside franchise veteran Dave Filoni, who is set to take over the reins of Lucasfilm, with Lin Wen Brennan as industry veteran, and accomplished producer Kathleen Kennedy steps down after more than a decade. Yeah, did you guys know that Kathleen Kennedy is going to be done this year? We actually did the video here if you guys want to go watch that episode, but she's done. It's actually official. It's not like a random YouTuber being like, I have a scoop that she's actually gonna leave. I'm not even fucking with you. She's gone. She's done. And it's gonna be Dave Baloney. I always call him Dave Baloney. Baloney's full of baloney. I don't know. He gives off this vibe that he likes women. I don't know about those guys. To boot, the character of Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, became an instant pop culture icon with his 2019 debut in the series, combined with the return of Pedro Pascal as the now other title character. Diehard fans and some casual Star Wars viewers, especially families, should be upfront drivers for this cinematic follow-up to the streaming series over Memorial Day weekend as summer vacation begins. Okay, so I'll ask you guys this right now. Remember how, like, some of those MCU movies didn't do as well with the TV characters because not enough people had watched those shows to know who the fuck those characters were? What if the success of this show is only limited to a small scale audience, right? Because we know just because you're a successful streaming movie or show doesn't mean you have a big audience at all, honestly. That could actually mean the opposite. It actually means you don't have a lot of fans at all. I'm not saying that this is like that, but that could be a factor potentially, right? Also, people said, well, it's another movie with Pedro Pascal. Yeah, but we're not going to see his face. So that's good enough, honestly.
Well, we'll see it somehow in there. They're going to show his face.
Favreau's previous directorial successes and the promise of a return to more grounded practical effects in this film will also be appealing to more avid followers of the series. I think only like film people care about that. Casuals are fine with anything. Guys, casuals thought that Venom was a good movie. I mean, they're fine with anything.
I think one of the things even the casuals really liked about Project Hail Mary is there was no green screening. It was all practical effects. I mean, they did some CG, but, you know, and actually that Rocky was a real puppet. There was a few things that had to do with CG with him, but I don't know. I think people are getting a little more wise to that, but I don't think overall it's going to make or break this movie. But yeah. Well, but I'm excited. I'm sorry. I was going to say I'm a little more excited to know Jon Favreau is more involved than I was thinking because he's really good. So hopefully this is going to be a good movie.
While the potential for a standalone adventure could prove to be a universal audience strength, I don't know about that. On the other side of the coin, streaming to big screen transitions for other franchises, namely the Marvel Cinematic Universe, have not played out on the same level of box office success as their predecessors. Some of this can be attributed to possibly having a different core audience, the at-home viewers, but equally so, the shared oversaturation of content and middling to poor reception of other undercooked storylines, whether or not they were directly associated with the originating spinoff. Yeah, keep in mind, I will be fair here. It's only Marvel that's really tried that, and that hasn't been successful at all. But if this one were to be different, I would be surprised. Additionally, there is the question of how Disney can market the stakes of this film, since it essentially serves as a prequel in the middle of previously established Star Wars lore and the primary feature films, while notably not centering around most of the parent franchise's pillars: Jedi, Sith, forward-moving mythology, universe-ending threads. In that regard, The Mandalorian and Grogu has similar mountains to climb as the Marvels, Captain America: Brave New World, and Thunderbolts did for Disney's MCU going into their theatrical launches. And I like Thunderbolts, but all those movies failed box office-wise.
It didn't do a lot, yeah.
One of them was the biggest bomb in the franchise a whole.
Yeah, Marvel's, it was pretty bad for box office. Yeah.
Ultimately, word of mouth will be key in the middle of a busy summer slate. Star Wars films are not typically as front loaded as might seem obvious for a property with such a large fan base, but that speaks to its equally as large or larger family audience when the stories work as crowd pleasers rather than homework for the next or even previous chapter. This film's position as the first bona fide family-friendly tentpole since April's Super Mario Galaxy movie also does us some favors for built-up demand, as will a blanket IMAX and premium screen presence. So I know a lot of people are bringing up all this other stuff here. So we'll see how it goes. While the recent Super Bowl ad was met with mixed reception online, internet reactions are not always fully indicative of wider commercial interest. Following next week's presentation at CinemaCon, we may revisit forecasts as marketing continues to evolve ahead of late-stage tracking metrics and ticket pre-sales. But keep in mind, they just made the argument that streaming to big screen doesn't really work for Marvel. But then they also said here, the internet is not indicative. It's like, well, pick an argument. Fucking hell.
Well, you talked about that Super Bowl ad. It's funny because I watched that with some friends, and my one friend Cheryl and her husband watched all the Mandalorian shows and they really liked it. And they watched all the Star Wars movies, but they waited till they came out on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't see them in the theater. And then they had no idea what the heck that was about. Like, they didn't know there was a Mandalorian Grogu movie coming out.
Yeah.
Until that popped up at the end. That Super Bowl ad basically ripped off like classic Budweiser ads. And where there was another couple there and they had watched the Star Wars movies, but they never watched any of the TV shows. They had no idea what was going on. So, and I knew what was going on because I pay attention to this stuff. So I kind of saw, this is the movie coming out and it's coming out this summer. And so it did get a mixed, and it didn't tell anybody any new information really. And that kind of trailer would have been good if Star Wars was really healthy and everybody knew what was going on, even the normies. Then that trailer could have been a lot of fun, but it didn't give anybody much new information.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't hype the movie. They had to come out and explain the trailer. Disney did. So it was not good. So,
according to box office forecasters, The Mandalorian and Grogu is early tracking to earn 70 to 85 million in its opening domestic weekend at the box office. Now, keep in mind, guys, that's not international. It could perform way better internationally. Keep in mind, could. I also could have sex with Scarlett Johansson and Ana de Armas. I also could be white. Keep in mind, these are also coulds. That would set a record as the lowest opening for a Star Wars movie during the Disney era, coming in far, far, far behind all three films from the Skywalker saga. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's terrible. Yeah. It's fucking awful.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Jon Favreau did it, so if it's good and you get some hype, it could probably, I'm thinking it might, if it is pretty good, it'll probably make them some money. But
it's just word of mouth. Like you said, word of mouth. If word of mouth is mixed to bad, it is. You can just pack all this shit up.
But they have that Starfighter show coming out with Ryan Gosling in 2027. And unfortunately,
maybe they have it because they always announce stuff. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. Remember how they announced stuff and then kind of just like take it all back like Old Yeller? Just,
Yeah, but didn't they? I thought they already started shooting that. I could be wrong. But unfortunately for Disney, if they would have planned that like later this year, maybe around Christmas or something, Ryan Gosling's, popularity because of Project Hail Mary, they could have ridden a little bit of that wave and maybe got more hype. But next year, I don't think he's got another movie coming out, and people are going to the hype of Project Hail Mary is going to be gone. So I don't think that's going to help them.
Oh, yeah. Of course, at this point in time, this is all just conjecture. Official box office projections will be made once tickets for the upcoming release go on sale. And considering that May 22nd marks the beginning of Memorial Day weekend, there was a pretty strong chance that The Mandalorian and Grogu will come in on the higher end of any expectations. We're hoping this is the case because this is the way for more Star Wars stories to be told. The Mandalorian and Grogu arrives in movie theaters on May 22nd, 2026. So a big problem here is a lot of these outlets are going to be highlighting this to you guys. If this movie does not do good, Hey, I will say this. This is going to be the reaction for Disney Star Wars fans if this movie flops at the box office.
I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. This shit, I'm out.
That's gonna be the reaction.
Yeah.
I can't show for this any longer. It's over.
Well, they didn't help themselves with those Disney Plus shows because Kenobi sucked.
Oh God,
what's his name? Boba Fett was terrible.
Woo! What a garbage show. Yeah.
Sucked. I thought Ahsoka was kind of dull. Andor was really good, but nobody watched it really. I don't think the audience was that great from what I heard. Trying to think of the other shows they did. Now, I've never watched the animated ones, and I know people
Ahsoka,
like Bad Batch. And know it.
So they had Bad Batch, Ahsoka, Tales of the Jedi, Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, Mandalorian and Grogu seasons, and then you also had that's it.
But I think the animated ones, some of them were pretty popular, but those don't really cross over with the normies.
But you don't hear about them though. Like you had the extra seasons of the Clone Wars. I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did.
In the Star Wars fandom, those are real popular. I got a buddy who he's in that 501st Stormtrooper thing where they all dress up like Stormtroopers.
Yeah,
and all his Star Wars buddies love the Clone Wars, and he kept telling me, "You should watch." I never got into this stuff, but he said that was really good. But again, I think that first came out like 10 years ago or something. I don't know, 10, but yeah, the hype around it is low. I was going to share a screen if you don't mind. I was going to
go ahead.
Show
because I was trying to see next Star Wars. Yeah, I was trying to look up next Star Wars projects. Yeah, all I know is there's Ahsoka season 2, and I know there's this, and there's they say Starfighter, and they say a new Jedi Order film with Rey and Dawn. Like what?
Yeah,
this stuff isn't coming out. No way.
I think Starfighter could, but like I said, if they would have been able to get the hype from Project Hail Mary, I think that would have been pretty good because Ryan Gosling was kind of riding a high,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
now it's going to be a year and poof. So
okay, so hold on, let me put it up here. No, okay, I consent. Fucking hell, eat my ass. I don't consent. IGN, you fucking bitch.
That was bringing up this poll.
Oh, you're good.
That I don't know if you guys can see it. If you see it well.
Oh, I saw this.
But, yeah, it was done. They were talking earlier, like anybody's got hype for Toy Story. Now, this is just summer movies, starting with basically the Memorial Day weekend. And this was done by Fandango. So I don't know how many responses, but it's obviously, you got Devil Wears Prada. The Odyssey, people got some hype. Spider-Man's
Devil Wears Prada. Are you a single mom?
But scary movie. I'm looking forward to that too, but there's no Mandalorian Grogu. More people are hyped according to this survey than
right here. Like Toy Story. Yeah, so Spider-Man and Supergirl being there makes sense. Minions makes all that stuff kind of there makes sense though. The only one that's kind of weird is Devil Wears Prada 2. That's kind of weird.
I think that's going to do great because that first movie, that was a big movie. Minions will be okay. The Mortal Kombat people are that. I kind of getting hyped for that.
Who's hyped for Mortal Kombat? That first one stunk. Booty.
This one looks so much better though. With I think this is going to be better. But Insidious is number 10, and I'm thinking that beat out Mandalorian Grogu. How many people are in it?
Horror fans are big. There's a lot of fans of these movies now.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm going to get rid of that one there. But a lot of people, I know it's big, but are you that hyped over that kind of thing? So.
Also, here's what's coming for Star Wars because, like for Lucasfilm, they like to announce stuff and then just kind of forget about it. So just like my dad's presence in my life, definitely happening. Maul, Shadow Lord series, which is going on right now. Mandalorian and Grogu, obviously. Star Wars Visions, which I haven't really heard anything good or bad about, but it does exist. You have the Starfighter movie, and you have Ahsoka Season 2. This is in development as like the Dave Filoni Mando-verse New Republic movie. Charmin Oboychene. No, they're not doing the Rey movie with that fat, disgusting slob. No way. Simon Kinberg's horror trilogy. This one maybe might happen. I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think these trilogies. I don't think Taika Waititi is gonna.
Taika loves big titties.
Yeah,
good lord.
I don't know. They might end up doing season. If this movie does okay, and Disney's hurting for new content, they could do another season of Mandalorian. But,
I know I said Clone Wars. My bad. I meant to say Star Wars Visions. I know that was something else that they tried out, but I don't know if it actually did anything actually.
What was the one with the kids? With Jude Law, I think it was. Was it Jude Law? I didn't see it. It was just recent. I think it was released late last year.
Yeah, it's Bad Batch. Yeah.
Was that bad? No, it was a live action because Bad Batch was like the clones. It was those kids. They went on I can't remember the name of that show, but that one people liked, but it was aimed towards kids.
They had the Acolyte.
Oh, Acolyte was terrible.
Oh God.
Yeah, Mr. Milquetoast brought about hype about Odyssey.
And Skeleton Crew. That's what it was.
Yeah, that was it. And the hype around the Odyssey, I pointed out, I think it's because Christopher Nolan's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, that cast seems a little goofy. Like, I don't know. There's some good people in it and good actors, but some of it doesn't seem like it's going to mesh, the actors, but we'll see.
So, any other final thoughts and opinions you have on Mandalorian Grogu? Box office success or no success?
I think, thinking more about Jon Favreau being in the movie, or being part or creating the movie, I think it's going to be pretty good and it might hold a little bit, but I can't see that movie topping more than 400 million to 450 at a good, because after Memorial Day, they're going to get all these other movies coming out, and I think there'll still be, well, I don't know if the Mario Brothers still going to be rolling along in a month and a half, but we'll see. I mean, I think, like I said before, I think it'll do better if the parents are like, man, I got to get the kids out of the house. We're going to go see a movie. Oh, look, a baby Grogu. And then you might get some of the hype of people thinking, I thought he was cute.
Gonna get
I think a lot of people are going to be like, well, I'm just going to wait for streaming because I watched the first 3 seasons on streaming and the third season sucked. So,
yeah, that's the same thing for me too. I think once the initial people see it and the word of mouth settles in, there's a good chance this movie just completely flops. And good on Lucasfilm and Disney. Fuck your Star Wars, and your Star Wars is ass. You suck.
Well, they gotta make some changes because when they did the stupid thing they do at Marvel, when they had Kenobi, what did they do? They introduced Reva just so they could spin off another show. Then they get the the Acolyte, which really they didn't try to spin anybody off, but they brought in some new characters. And
remember when Ewan McGregor sucked. Remember when Ewan McGregor made that video in his car saying, "Oh, if you criticize Reva, you're no fan of mine." Like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
She did receive some racist backlash, but I don't think it was as big as people say. And no matter what you're going to do, you're going to get attacked online. I don't care what you're doing. You can put out a recipe for, banana bread. Someone's going to attack you, and if you're black, you're going to get called racist names. It's just unfortunate that's how people are.
Yeah.
But they made a big deal out of it. And yeah, that should never happen. And it shouldn't, no one should get death threats and no one should be called names. But they come out and they make the big deal out of it. And then the show kind of stinks. And you're like, yeah, but the show stinks. And she's not a good character. So I don't know. I would love it if Kenobi was great. I would have loved it if Reva was a good character and they spun her off into a great show. But it just wasn't.
Oh my God. Do you remember when they tried raising money for her pirate looking lightsaber and it failed? They tried to raise money on a Kickstarter or whatever for her lightsaber and it definitely failed. So yeah, guys, I don't know. I mean, they're going to have to rely on complete fucking losers to watch this movie. Will I be watching it? I don't know. It just depends when it comes out. I'll have to see because I literally might be at a new job. So I don't know what my schedule is going to look like, honestly, but hey, you're going to get the single moms to be in there like, oh my God. And, that's going to happen. After that week, it's done. Actually, this movie dies by word of mouth. If it is mixed or bad, it's done. I do not believe if people get mixed reception or hear mixed reception, I think it's done. I also think that if this movie has they were parading around the Mario Galaxy movies, Rotten Tomato score. If this movie's Rotten Tomato score from critics is also low, ooh, that's another blow. So we'll have to see how it goes. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning videos, oh my God, I just don't ignore that. I'm just a white guy. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel. If you have not already, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I am MSK, aka Master Swiking, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Goodbye. Peace. Wow. You can't hype a movie that has no marketing. It has no marketing yet. It has no marketing yet. No, it has no marketing at all. I don't know what the marketing is, honestly.
I know. I think a lot in this audience for Mandalorian is going to end up being a lot of people are just like, I'm just going to wait for Disney Plus. Well, why bother? Why spend more money at a theater? There's going to be other offerings. It's going to probably end up on Disney Plus by September. Maybe not September, but maybe October. And
yeah, that's another thing to bring up. If this is a show that was a dedicated streaming show, why would a person logically go to a theater? They know it's going to be on a streaming service at some point. It's going to go to Disney Plus. Now, to be fair, Disney typically puts their new movies on the streaming service within about 3 months. But what we've seen, people are willing to wait though. They're willing to wait.
And if but the thing with this, you said earlier, if they would have put this out between season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian, the TV show, probably would have done really well. But what hurt Solo was, the movie ended up being bad because they cut between directors. But what hurt Solo was that the people didn't like. I think that came out after Rise of Skywalker, and that did so bad that people were like, that why bother? And they were going back again and trying to retell Han's story, and it's kind of like, I mean, I didn't think Solo was that bad, and I liked the guy that got to played Han Solo, but I mean, I knew Harrison Ford. I watched him when he was young and at that age, so being a new guy, I kind of think I would have preferred to see a Lando show of him younger and his story more, but I don't know. They didn't ruin Han Solo, but they didn't really make him a bad guy. All of a sudden,
yeah. Like when I watched that movie, I didn't dislike that movie. It wasn't even really that bad. It's just like, would my perception of that movie be entirely different if I know it wasn't tied to Han Solo? That's the key. Because if that was just a random space adventure movie, I thought it'd be pretty good, honestly. But it's tied to like Han Solo and an origins for his name. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the Empire gave him his name, and then they made a big deal about the dice.
I like the poker scenes; those are pretty cool.
Oh,
but
yeah,
the moment in the movie where that fucking dude is like having sex with robots, like what the fuck?
Oh yeah, Lando. It was that whole thing with what's her name, Phoebe Waller-Bridge playing the robot, and rights, and then that whole thing was so dumb. To have the relationship between her and him, and it was like, well, it works. It's like, no, you're a robot.
To be fair, hey, if Wanda dated Vision, does that mean that like Wanda would date like a washing machine? Sorry, guys, the joke was there. Because if she's dating Vision, would she date like a refrigerator? Like, I don't know. I followed you, Joe. Oh my God, Michael is sucking up to everybody but me.
Mike knows class. I'm telling you, he knows class, dignity, intelligence. He's probably a good dude. I haven't met him face to face, but so far I like him.
He's a Bills fan.
I like the Bills. I mean, I'm a Lions fan, but I also like the Bills. I'm proud of the Bills.
Golly.
Who do you like? You probably like the Rams or what?
I'm a Philly. I'm a Philadelphia fan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I like Philly too. I don't mind them.
Good Lord. I prefer Wanda with Wonder Man. No, I prefer Wanda with a microwave.
I prefer Wanda with Vision because I grew up when they were together when I was reading comics. So, but I don't know. Like, he's a synthoid, so I guess a little different than just a hard robot.
Yeah,
I don't know, that Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Lando being together, or whatever her stupid robot name was, but Disney's doing this to themselves. They did it with Marvel. They give you all these shows. I mean, look at Moon Knight. First of all, I thought Moon Knight sucked, and they got to introduce Silver Scarab, and she leads him around the whole show. She's in charge. She bosses him around. She kicks butt, just so they can have a new character. It's like, okay, fine. And they brought Kate. I think one of the ones they did really well was Kate Bishop, because Kate Bishop actually liked Hawkeye. She respected him. She didn't put him down. She didn't make him look like an idiot. She didn't go, well, you're a man, so I'm better than you, blah, 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 blah. And she didn't do any of that. That was a great way to introduce a character. I like Miss Marvel, like, as a character and stuff, and I did enjoy her show for what it was, but no one watched it and everything, so that didn't do that great. Think of the other shows, like what's its name? Agatha All Along, I thought was interesting, but nobody. That's not moving.
I'll never forget how they promoted that. Aubrey Plaza doing ASMR licking knives. It's like, bruh, Marvel. You know how get Marvel resorting to doing like OnlyFans content to get their shows promoted. It's like, bruh. I will say, when a lot of women were having sex with me last week, I just ascended into a different plane of existence. But all right, so we're gonna wrap this show up here. I gotta get up in the. I'm gonna do a game stream later on, but I gotta get up early in the morning to head back to Walmart to see what's gonna happen with this job.
Good luck with that.
It's a pretty. I'm like 90. They literally called me today, so it's almost there, guys. It's almost there. I'm almost done with this arc. I know a lot of you guys believed in me. I told you I'm the top G, and I always got to make things happen. If you're a man, you got to make things happen.
Well, good luck. I'm sure they're gonna, hire you if they called you and everything, and you showed you were interested, because after you got cut off, you went back to
I was like, right when the call dropped, when she said a selected time you would prefer as a position, it dropped. I was like, oh, it's like it's like a doctor just dropping a newborn baby on the floor. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything planned coming up that you would like to let the audience know about?
Just working on my channel. I've been playing around with some logo stuff. I actually got some scripts I've been working on for my own channel, and I've been editing my book. I'm too scatterbrained. I should get the book finished and do the channel, but I do a little of the book, then the channel. But I actually been working on my logos. Like, if you see the oops, I'm screwing up here. That little GA that you see.
That looks good.
That's for the Gray Area Entertainment. That's going to be my channel. So I got those all done, and I got a few scripts and a few ideas together. And but again, I get all the stuff done, and I'm like, oh, I got to work on my book, and then I add a chapter, and so I don't know. I'm too scatterbrained. Maybe I have ADD. I don't know it.
All right. As for me, guys, I got game streams and podcasts coming up. Gonna see what's gonna end up happening tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something good. So I knew coming in today something good was gonna happen. I had this like feeling.
You're hyped, man. You're hyped.
Yeah, it's like, God damn. This Monday, I was like, okay, I didn't get that call back from that other place I told you guys about, but I got a call back from that, and I was like, all right, well, I'll take that. Fuck it. So, but yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the